Ready? Play.
All right, so our third quarterfinal in Barcelona is going to be Carlos Alcaraz going up against Alex de Minaur. You're looking at de Minaur, how consistent he's been as of late. It's just been so hard to hit through, and he's so clinical. And Carlitos coming off that Monte Carlo title, and he's worked his way here quite routinely. He played Ethan Quinn, who tested him a bit in the second set, and then I think it was a little bit of a compromise loss, Jerry, but he showed some patches, but all in all, gets the job done quickly and gives himself a little bit more opportunity to kind of breathe, rest, and kind of focus on these next 3 days for him. So we're looking at the head-to-head. It is 3-0 in favor of Alcaraz. They have played on clay once, and the most recent matchup was in Rotterdam, where Carlos prevailed to take that Rotterdam title in 3 sets. And the only time they met on clay was in Barcelona in 22, and that went 3 sets. Very tight matchup. 2 breakers and a break in the third. So talk about previewing this match. What are you looking for, Carson?
I think Alcaraz has been playing very well. Obviously, he won a title last week, so that's not a revolutionary statement to say right now. But this week has, against a competition that maybe is not in the top 25 quite yet. You mentioned a more compromised Laszlo Jerry, especially in the second set of that match. But he's been playing really well. It's been clinical. Boring isn't the right word, but just a little more calculated and just being efficient with his chances. And then you have Alex de Minaur, who's had a couple of pretty straightforward wins. Had an opening round match against Echeverry, which he's always a tough player to play on clay, and then Jacob Fernley in the second round. They last met in Rotterdam, as you mentioned. That was a pretty good final. De Minaur had a really high level in that match. Carlos has been playing incredibly against him, though. I don't know. I feel like this one is maybe a little more straightforward to me than some of these other matches. Carlos does everything that de Minaur does well, and maybe just a little bit better. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, I mean, for Carlos, it's hard. Obviously, after the title, you want to celebrate it, and then you got to get back to work. I felt like he's kind of sleptwalked through these first 2 matches, and that's not a bad thing. But he's gotten out of them in straight sets, which is the most important thing. Today down a break in the second, gets it right back to love, I believe, and finishes there. So I think he's kind of hungry for this type of match again, and I think hopefully his legs will feel good going into tomorrow. A little extra rest. But, I mean, you also have to just give credit to de Minaur, especially, on this surface. You talk about that match with Echeverry, who's always, a tough opponent, hasn't had the best 2025, but, it was still a casual win for de Minaur. And, that's impressive. And then today, just like handing out, more breadsticks against, Jacob Fernley, only his 4th match on this surface in his career. So that's kind of what you were expecting. But obviously looking at Monte Carlo, 4 matches, 3 awesome wins, and probably should have got it done against Musetti in that semifinal. And, we would have had, this matchup on Sunday, but fortunately in tennis, we get it just 5 days later. So any predictions here? As you said, you think it's straightforward? Is it straight sets? Is it, 3-3 that easy?
I think Alcaraz is going to win this one fairly easily. De Minaur has made incredible strides on clay, but this, to me, feels like there's just a gap in between these 2 players right now, especially with the way that Carlos has been playing, the probably pretty good mindset that he has right now coming off of a title. I think that will carry him to victory. What do you think about this one?
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely interested to see the de Minaur game plan, because you can't really rush Carlos on the surface, and de Minaur has a wicked backhand, but I'm just curious kind of where he's going to try and find a hole in the Alcaraz game. I think it's just too much power and kind of ability to dictate that, he'll just have to be trying a lot out there. And I don't think it'll, work in his advantage in the extended rallies. Carlito's going to use the shapes and spins to put himself in, attacking positions and really go for it when he gets it. And I think it's exciting for Alcaraz again to, get up for a match, especially against a player who's been doing so well. Obviously leads the head-to-head 3-love. So, I'm with you. I think it's straight sets. But I'm definitely excited to see de Minaur battle and see what he can bring to the test. But I don't think it should be, too much of a test for Carlos, as long as he doesn't give away, free points, because, Demon can make things
Right.
tough because he can extend points, or, you give him a little, half chance and he can, put the pressure on you and really make you make balls. So, but I'm with you there. Carlos in straight sets.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.